Hi, guys. Welcome back to MVB Life Empowerment Sessions. Today, I have some wonderful guests, and I will start from my right and ask this lovely, handsome brother, what is your name? Please introduce yourself.
Aiden Minerve. This is my beautiful mom right here. 19 years old, working in school, just trying to figure my life out, pretty much. Yep.
Awesome. That's wonderful. And the lovely mom.
I'm Dawn. I'm his mother. And this is Molini.
She's introducing me, guys. Yes, I'm Malini. So I kidnapped them again today after service so we could just gist and chat. So today we are just going to talk about this wonderful, exciting era that we are going into, the world of AI. Aiden, can you tell us a little bit about what AI means? What does it stand for? You're a younging. You know more about it.
So, AI, aka artificial intelligence, basically, we are giving computers the power to think intelligently and to complete tasks and do things that previously we would have assigned to humans, but we're assigning it to computers just to make our lives easier, pretty much. That is the purpose of it.
The purpose of it, well explained, executed. People like me, oldies, we're learning from you, man. We're
No.
learning from you. So, mom, Dawn, let me not call you mom because you're just too beautiful. So, with him saying we're using AI to make our lives better, how do you feel about that? Knowing that your kid most likely is using this artificial intelligence to perform tasks at a much faster rate
Yes.
than what you were used to. Does it scare you? Does it excite you?
The idea of AI is it has two sides to it for me.
Okay.
The purpose of it is wonderful to make our lives easier, to make things better, to give us less work. But I think the other side of it is how much it's taking away from the human aspect of things. So I have some reservations about AI, some things that are a little bit concerning to me. While it's amazing technology and the potential is great for greatness, there's also a potential for badness too.
Can you give us some examples of your thoughts that are giving you this misgiving, and scared approach to it?
So one part of it has to do with how AI it's using technology and computers to generate things that has been pre-programmed, and then it takes from the environment, like whatever it can scan, whatever it can. This is just like my basic understanding of it,
That's
because I was
fine.
just
Pretty-
very little.
You're
We are
pretty
human
spot
beings.
on.
We're trying to figure out where we're going in this era.
Right. And so it's gleaning information at such a high processing rate and just creating things to put out. So, for example, you did a song, which I thought was amazing, but the production was so right. It was like very professional production. So I was like, "Did you make it? Like, how did you do this?" And you told me it was an AI program. So where you would have had to hire a team or at least a producer to do this for you, you didn't have to hire anyone. So
Fantastic.
so it was it was accessible to you.
Right.
It was almost instant for you. You didn't have to set up time with a producer, book studio time. You didn't have to do anything. You just created your lyrics. You wrote your own stuff, and however the program ran, and this project or this product came out, right? And it was high quality and
Beautiful.
everything. But what happens to the human behind it, right? So while it was amazing,
Right.
how there was a human aspect that was missing, right? There was no human behind it. So essentially, you just you took away a job from one
From
person,
somebody.
right? And you save some money,
Right.
but someone actually essentially lost money in that sense,
Right.
right? And then so I think about how people use AI to make. I wrote a story with ChatGPT, and so I just filled in certain things, and I told ChatGPT the prompt was write a story, a children's book story about two friends, and I put
Right.
their names, and that was it. And it wrote this really comical story that had a beginning, a middle, and an end. And it had my friend name, my name, and it was like this really intriguing story. And I was like, that's so great. But then the other part of it was like, who created this?
Way too easy.
Where did it come from, right? And what's happening to creativity if we're not being forced to use it? We're not being forced. I didn't have to use my imagination. I just plugged in three elements, right?
Right.
The subject and the two names, right?
Correct.
And it created this elaborate thing. So I wasn't pressed to think very much. So I didn't flex my creativity. I didn't flex my imagination. If we're not being pushed to do that, what's going to happen down the road? Like, what's going to
What's
happen
the
with
cutoff?
right?
Right.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
what's going to happen to art and music if we're not being pushed to the greatest limits of our own creativity, our
Right.
God-given creativity, right? Those are the things that I think about. So
So, Aiden, what's your take on that?
I agree. I mean, I
What do you love? What do you hate?
so AI. I feel like AI is really good for creating solutions. At least where I typically work in. So I work in tech.
Mm-hmm.
So AI will basically give you a breakdown of the issue that you're having and different ways to go about solving that issue. So I think it's really good for that, but I'm not a big fan of like AI art and AI music and stuff because I feel like art and music are that's human expression,
Right.
and using AI for that is kind of like it takes away from a person's ability to adequately
Originality.
right that, and then it's inauthentic. It's not your art. It's AI's art. So I'm not a big like fan of
A
that
fan of that.
personally.
So it's a very controversial topic because I was researching into it and I was finding out that a lot of people on social media platforms, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, you name it, they're using this and creating it, right? And then they make these videos with the background music that is AI generated,
right.
right? And the process is fast. And like you said, human beings have inputted certain beats and sounds into this learning machine, right? So now it's just easier for you to go in and plug in lyrics and things like that and generate from pre-existing beats and things like that. And the quality of it is pretty awesome. Guys can check my YouTube channel, guys. I have uploaded like 4 songs in 1 week. All I had to do was use my imagination to write the lyrics out of my soul. And this thing, when you listen to it, oh my God, it makes me feel like my creativity is not that great compared to the machine, because it's awesome. Like you said, you don't have to pay nobody to do it for you, because obviously there's some kind of work you have to do at the back, but it's just so impressive. But then, like what Aiden said, it takes away from the human expression,
Right.
the emotions that you yourself are completely feeling. The world doesn't really get to hear that, right? Because now it's kind of somewhat embellished, should I say? But it still sounds pretty great.
And that's the issue.
That's
It's
the
so
issue.
good. Yeah.
So how do you think we should be addressing this? Because before it was just targeting businesses, right? When we see a lot of people, hospitality industry, losing their jobs now
Yeah.
because these machines are taking over.
Mhm.
But now it's growing.
Mhm.
Now artists are going to be losing their jobs. Producers,
Essentially.
essentially,
Now
yeah.
I think it's a while before that happens, but I truly believe like slowly and surely you're gonna see more AI integration with like the music industry and even TV and movies and stuff.
It's amazing.
Malini's excited.
It's
She's
cool.
like, I
It's
can't wait.
cool. It's cool, but it's like there's real people that make real art that aren't gonna be,
Recognized.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you think about it, I mean, there's so much.
Yeah.
The whole idea of AI is what humans have to give it.
Right.
It has to draw from somewhere.
From somebody.
But at some point, there's supposed to be a conversion where AI is supposed to be able to create on its own.
Mhm.
But is it creating on its own from what it's given? Because if you throw in, it's like a bread maker, right? So you have to put the ingredients in, and the bread maker makes the bread. Sorry, the bread maker, the bread maker makes the bread, right? So it's only going to make the bread from the ingredients that you give it, but AI is supposed to be able to do more than that.
Right.
So it's supposed to be able to take what you've given it and then and then some sort of internal learning is supposed to happen, and it's supposed to be able to create on its own also, right? So it's just so much involved. But we had talked about movies earlier, and I'm a movie head. So growing up, there are movies that we watched that kind of had the subject matter was AI. And there's the movie The Terminator, and where the machines became self-aware and they realized that they thought that they should be in control of the planet versus humans, because humans are messy and they do things that are destroying the planet. And there's a lot of movies that kind of have that kind of premise, and then so there's always that in my mind, because my imagination runs away sometimes, that I'm like, well, when will these machines start to take over, so but outside of that, I think it's amazing how it's working, but I do agree with Aiden that it's going to be a long time before we'll see where it goes, right? Because it's just like the advent of AI being integrated into our society in mass, right? But it's so much.
Pretty amazing, I should say. Well, the world we're going, tech is life. Tech is it.
Tech is
you
life.
know.
True.
So I had some misgivings about it, just like how you're saying, to say, oh my God, it's taken away from the human element. But then again, we also need it. I feel like there should be a balance.
Yes.
How are you using it? If you're not using it for it to take over every single task you do, and you're not thinking anymore, you're not using your brain, then you're just literally sitting like a vegetable, should I say? And it's doing everything for you. So I think with it being so exciting and wonderful, leave room to still be creative and also to do what you're supposed to do, to learn to read. If you're in school, don't just use it to get answers and copies to test questions. I know, it's like you're in an exam room, and all you gotta do is like, ChatGPT, give me the answer to this. It's crazy. So use your mind, read and study, because it's funny, because I tried it. There was a question in something that I was studying, and I took it and I plugged the question in, and it just gave me the answer. I was like, oh, this is
This is
dangerous.
easy.
It's easy and it seems like it's great, but at the end of the day, you have quick answers, but you don't have a process.
Yeah.
So you're never really going to understand the full process. So take time to learn. I don't know if you guys have anything else to say before we wrap up this show.
I did want to ask you guys what you guys thought about. So they have these AI video generators. So basically, you can create video by just using a prompt.
Mhm.
And I kind of have a fear, not a fear, but I can truly see like in the future, like politicians being AI generated to say certain things that they didn't say, and then it's like a question with the public, like, did he say this? Did he not? So, what do you guys think about that? Like,
I think it's something that's already going on. They have something called deep fake,
Deep fake.
where someone can take like what you just said
Yep.
and flip it and probably make it into make it look like it's my husband who said it. Like they can
Yes.
just replicate the whole thing. I believe there was someone that did a complete interview. They were not there. For some reason, they were able to do it. So it really has its scary sides. But I also believe that with the generation of technology and improvement of it, there will be some kind of cap. And the people that are creating these modules behind the scenes, I'm sure they've also factored that into play so that, at the end of the day, human beings don't abuse it. I just don't want it to take over my job or take
Right.
over my husband.
bottom line, bottom line. Don't take my
Bottom
job,
line.
Period.
Exactly. But that's a very important, valid lesson. I think it's already happening, but the people that are very highly skilled in tech, will be able to tell what is real and what is not. And that's why they're saying don't believe everything you see on social media, because you don't know
It's
if,
already starting.
yeah, if it's the real thing or the fake thing.
Or the fake thing.
Yes. I don't know if you have anything else to say before we call it.
No, I think it's just we have to. I guess we have to temper our desires for fast, easy, smooth, because that is our natural human tendency to lean into things that are easy and lean into things that don't require a lot of work and a lot of effort, right? And so we this will I think that kind of tendency pushes us towards technology in a really fast way. But if we take our time and really like, because there are people that are really monitoring these new things and just kind of throwing it out there like a word of caution, like take pause and really evaluate what this means on a bigger scale. And I'm more of a cautious mover, so for me, it's always about I always see something new, and I think that's where we're a little bit different. You're cautious too, but I think that you
I
see
dive in.
yes, you see like the beauty, and you see the wonder and the wonderful nature of things, and I am always looking like what's happening behind the scenes. So I'm very cautious about AI in general. In fact, in ChatGPT, I didn't even jump on it until like it had been out for
A
quite some
while.
time. And then I didn't even put it on my phone. Like I was like, I'm not getting the app. I don't want this thing reading my stuff. And so, you know,
Mama thinks somebody watching her.
Yeah, she got a tinfoil hat on.
be quiet. I do not. But so it's like I think there's good and there's bad to everything, and I think we just have to be mindful of what's out there and how to best utilize what we're given in a positive way versus because there's always going to be people who are going to try to manipulate things and use things to their advantage, which is at a disadvantage to
To others.
others. Yeah.
So I hope this was educative and entertaining unto you. So if you are following the world of AI, which you know what, it's here, whether we like it or not, it's happening. But please, let's use it wisely and let's not let it take over our own human intelligence. Continue working hard, continue learning and putting in the effort, and don't negate your God given abilities just for the sake of quickly getting results, because sometimes you might not like the end game of that. So I hope you were blessed. Until we meet again, let us know, like, comment, and subscribe. If you want to see my panel here again, please give a thumbs up. You see, it's giving you the peace sign. Say some good things, or you can hit us hard. All right, guys, take care. Goodbye.
Bye.
Appreciate it. Bye.